Hi everybody, today I'm going to do a traditional recipe from Calabria for Easter. It's an Easter lamb but in a stew style. I already cut the lamb. It was a nice chunk lamb that I pre-cut it, and I'm going to show you how I did it, and then we're going to do the steps. We need some frozen peas, a nice sweet onion. These are the sweet onions. They cook very well, and they become nice and golden, so they are very tender. And then we need 1 to 2 tomatoes, and fresh tomatoes or all tomato. Like if you have whole peeled tomato in a can, that will work too. Then we need a lemon. Then we need some parsley, either parsley fresh or leaves. And we need some rosemary. I put it in this jar so that it remains nice and fresh. And olive oil for sauteing, of course. And some white wine for the meat, to saute the meat. And this is pretty much the ingredients. So let me take you to the meat and show you how I cut it. So this is the lamb. This was the leg. So I cleaned it, I cut it, and I took all the fat. We don't need all this fat. This is a very lean recipe if you trim all this fat. Look how much fat that is. It's about more than a pound here just in fat. So this was about 5 pounds of leg. Now what I want to show you also is that I trimmed the leg as much as I could. It's nice and clean now with no fat. And I'm going to use this for soup. So I'm going to freeze it. And then when I have some time to do a soup, I'm going to make a delicious soup with this, which we're going to do it hopefully as a recipe for my viewers as well. Now this is the meat that came out of that 5 pounds. As you can see, it's about maybe 2 pounds that really strong by the time we took the bone and by the time we took all that fat. I already put some lemon. See, I washed it. You have to wash it thoroughly. And I put some lemon. So I still have some lemon seeds here. I put about 1 lemon. I squeezed 1 lemon because the lamb could be a little too sweet, and the flavor sometimes is not that appealing for some people. So by neutralizing it with lemon, it just becomes a much flavorful dish afterwards. So this is pretty much how it is. Okay, this is the onion, how it became nice and caramelized with about ½ a cup of oil. You go by eyeballing basically, but I think overall it was like ½ a cup. And this is olive oil, of course. So it became, the onion is about that big onion. That's what it looks like right now. So you know that you need a nice chunk, a nice big onion. Okay. So now that the onion is nice and golden, we start pouring the meat in there. And you can leave it chunky or you can cut it in very small pieces. It's up to your liking. Okay, it is very important to keep on stirring the meat so that you make sure that it does not get burned on you. And also you want to make sure that it's completely golden, so that then it's ready for you to pour the white wine. We need white wine for this recipe, not red. It will change completely the whole flavor. Okay. When you don't see any red in the meat, that's when it's completely sauteed and it's ready for the wine. Okay, so now the meat is ready for me to put some wine in it. So as you see, it's a nice glass. And I'm gonna stir it for a little bit, for about 5 minutes or so that it gets completely absorbed. And then I'm gonna put the other ingredients in there. Okay, as you can see, I did not use any water except for the liquid of about 8 ounces glass of wine. So the meat itself is bringing all this other extra liquid. So you don't have to add any water at this point. Eventually, when it starts to cook, you might want to add as he needs it. But right now, you don't need any water. This is its own juice and the wine. And now it's ready for, I decided to put 2 tomatoes because it's about 2 pounds or more of meat that I have. So I'm gonna put 2. If you have less meat, you might want to go for just 1. It doesn't have to become like a red sauce. You just want a little bit of color. So this will be fine for this size. Okay, I'm going to season now with some salt. So you want to go gentle. You start with maybe half a teaspoon, and then you taste it later on. Ready for the peas to be added. So I'm going to start with half a pack and see how it goes when I stir it. I'm going to keep it with half a pack because my kids are not too keen on peas, although I love it, but it becomes very colorful, so it's important. It's an important ingredient, and also the flavor of the peas just goes well with the lamb. Now we are ready for the herbs, so I'm just gonna add some rosemary, about a teaspoon of it, and I crunch it. Okay, and we're gonna add some parsley. If you have fresh parsley, that will be more preferred, but I did not have it, so I'm gonna use the dry one. And you just need about this much, about half a teaspoon. You give it a good stir, and now you cover it and you lower the temperature. Okay, it has been about 40 minutes now on a low flame, and this is gas. For electric it varies, so it might take a little longer, but the secret is to really check if it is nice and dense. You want to taste it for salt. The meat breaks with the spatula, then it is completely done. And it has to be nice and dense. That's the secret. Okay. Okay, so now this is the way it looks, and it's ready to be enjoyed. And the best way to enjoy this kind of stew is with a nice crunchy ciabatta bread. And you cut it. Buon appetito!